The views and opinions of the guest on We Are Flatbush does not reflect the views and opinions of the platform. We do not instigate, propagate, or glorify anything. It's all educational and entertainment purposes only. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Slide. I'm him, yeah, baby, I'm him. 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 I get in that mode, feeling myself, bitch, I'm lit it. Rockstar my style, bitch, my drip cost 250. God bless my city, all these young niggas got switches. Screaming free murder, I'm out in NY with the billies. New money, new bag, long as they print it, I'ma go get it.
Check this out, man. We back again. We are Flatbush. We back again. And guess what? We got somebody from down in the dirty with us today. He ain't from Flatbush, and it's all good, because we tapping out with everybody around the world. But today, we got a guy that come down from the dirty. You know what I'm saying? The dirty. We get that crawfish, boiled peanuts, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Atlanta, well, most people would say, you know what I mean? Today we sitting down with WHOP, straight out of Louisiana.
Whoa, what's good, Flatbush?
Okay, man, damn, WHOP. I mean, before we even get started, my name is Popeye, and you on We Are Flatbush. And We Are Flatbush is about, you know, the Flatbush community and, you know, the trials and the tribulations for the people. But since, you know, we want to tap in with you because I think, in my eyes, the way I look at it, New Orleans ain't far from New York City or Flatbush.
Not at all, man.
You know what I mean? So by me saying that, let the people know where you from and let the people get a little insight about you before we start.
Well, what's good, man? Like you said, I'm your boy WHOP, man, from New Orleans. Out here been running around New York, man. Just doing a lot of work and promote my new music, man. My new mixtape, The Color Purple, which just dropped Friday, man.
Okay. So, all right, man. So, before we get to your music, right, let's talk about you.
Right.
You know what I mean? We want to know about you, you know what I mean, and what makes you a special star that come out of the Nolia, Louisiana. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Orleans, in the Ninth Ward, Lower 9, across the canal, man.
Well, you know, my Flatbush viewers and some of our people, we ain't familiar with New Orleans.
Right.
Break it down to us, like, because we all, when you hear New Orleans, Louisiana, you think of Master P, you think of Baby, Cash Money.
Right.
So now, give us the vision of where you from.
Shout out to all the OGs too, man, in the music from New Orleans.
Okay.
But I'm from New Orleans, downtown part, man, the Lower Ninth Ward. You gotta go across the bridge, in the trenches, man, the slums, where it's real gritty.
So what's the difference between downtown and uptown?
Only difference, it's the same. Only difference is, man, it's probably uptown a little more faster than, you know, downtown is. You know, the uptown nigga was probably getting a different type of money than we was getting downtown, man.
So to be safe, uptowns are more of a hood atmosphere, like a ghetto atmosphere.
It's all hood. Like it's the same. Like our would separate us. Y'all got uptown New York, y'all got downtown New York, but y'all still got the hoods and the ghettos and the bureaus and shit. It's the same shit.
Because you know, truthfully, I never really heard too much about the downtown. So let the people know who came from downtown as far as artists and public figures.
Well, right now, today, one of the biggest rappers that's from downtown is Rob 49. You got Mr. Magic, you got YGI Ray, you got Young Wildlife, you got Latizi, you got Subtweet Sean. It's a bunch of New Orleans rappers, man. That's big out there.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, is the music scene in New Orleans hard to break in, or is it kind of easy? Everybody support one another. How is the music scene out there?
I wouldn't say it's easy to break nowhere, man. All this shit is hard work. But I can say, like, you know, my city, they do support, you know, they do pop out, they do show mad love, man. And really probably like the biggest sound in New Orleans right now is probably bounce music, you know. Now they are probably hearing that trip out song and you know, a bunch of other little fast pace motion beats, man.
So okay, you just said bounce.
Yeah, bounce music.
Okay, what is bounce music? I mean, like I said, you talking to Flatbush right now. You talking to the world. But let's go with bounce.
That's part of something I can't really just put into words or just sum up and describe, man. But it's like it's a feel, man. It's a feel.
Is it like go-go music? Is it like shake your ass? Like, or better word, is it like Juvenile back that ass?
It's like Juvie back that ass up shit. Yeah, it's just like that, you know?
So you saying them girls out there just shaking that thing?
Man, they gonna show you.
They gonna show you. Oh man. So I want to ask you so much. So I want to ask you something about food out there. You know what I mean?
Word.
I know I'm jumping around the place because that's the kind of dude. But like the food, I know y'all like the red beans, the boiled peanuts. You know what I mean? Things like that.
I don't really too much fuck with the broiled peanuts, man. But the red beans and the rice,
Okay.
anything seafood, anything spicy, I'm fucking with that off the rip.
That crawfish.
The jambalayas, dirty rice, crawfish, turkey necks, the barrel shrimps, barrel crabs, all that, man. Barrel potatoes, barrel corn, I'm fucking with all that.
You making me hungry now. You making me hungry.
He come to Flatbush and fell in love with the stew pea.
Oh, hold on. That's
Right.
So baby, what comparison with the food that you grew up in New Orleans with?
Right.
That you know, you said the spicy food, the crawfish, you know what I mean,
Right.
and all that good stuff. What food that we have in Flatbush or in New York City or Brooklyn that you got that make you feel like you close to home?
Man, I gotta keep it all the way real, you hear me? It ain't too much stuff that I really ate. It's because while I'm out here, I'm rooming at Dex, at my manager Dex spot. And Dex don't eat out too much. He go buy everything fresh from the market. He come back and he chef that shit up himself. So I be eating good at home. Shout out to Dex, man. But far as me just really running around, like really trying some shit, man, I feel like the best shit I done had out here with them stew peas, man, with the oxtails in it. I was like, that shit, that fire, man.
You got stew peas with pigtail or stew peas?
No, with the oxtails, not the pigtails. I'm Muslim. I don't fuck with the earth.
Okay.
I don't fuck with the earth.
So you eat up on stew peas on white rice.
Right. Stew peas fire, man.
I like that. All right, let's get back to you now, New Orleans, growing up. So how it is growing up in New Orleans as a young dude, man? How it is growing up in New Orleans?
Man, growing up in it ain't no different from, you know, growing up nowhere else where it's poverty and where the slums, where the trenches and shit at, man. But it's just that it's like you gotta be all the way on your 10, man, even as a kid, man. It's so much, you know what I'm saying? Bang time now and that, bro, to you where you just gotta maneuver your way through the streets how you can maneuver.
So why you think it's like that? Why you think it's so much of a bang situation in Louisiana, New Orleans, and places like that?
Man, it's more of a, how can I put this, man? It's like, that's like one of the main ways a lot of niggas feel like making their name or making their presence known down there, man. You know, a lot of, you know, this, I really feel bad even speaking about this now that I got kids, but you know, we're Flatbush, man. I gotta give you the real, man. I gotta speak with,
That's
you know.
all we ask. That's all we
It's
ask.
like a lot of the kids in New Orleans don't grow up. They don't want to grow up to be football players and basketball. They want to grow up to be killers. That's because that is the number one main celebrity.
To be a killer out there.
To be a killer, man. That's where the most respect is at out there.
All right. Okay, now, I know since we're on the subject, and I asked you this question off camera, and I'm about to ask you again on camera.
Right.
And in touch with this subject also. You saying that the kids that growing up in your city, they dreaming not to be a basketball player, football player, doctor, successful electrician, none of that. You saying they main focus, a majority of the kids out there, they want to be killers.
Right.
And I asked you this question, like, why is the choice of drug in Louisiana or New Orleans, they say is heroin and dope? I know in New York City, a lot of our choice of a drug is weed.
Right.
You know what I mean? You go to certain places and some people might be their choice of drug is cocaine.
Right.
But I've noticed that when you say New Orleans, not you, but you know, when people talk about New Orleans
Right.
and Louisiana, the choice of drug is dope, heroin.
Right.
And I'm seeing that they kids, like 10 years old, 12 years old, they're on it.
Right.
And so I think that's the reason why you're saying that the crime rate is at a high rate out there.
Right. I mean, that drug ain't no drug to play with, man. Like, you know, I've had partners that I had to witness, you know, tear their life up trying to kick that monkey, man. That dog food, man, is one of the ones, man, to where when they get you, it get you. And once it get you, it got you. Like it ain't no looking to turn it back, man. And like I could just tell from that high the type of mentality and mind state that drug put you in. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, that dog food so easy, accessible down there, man. It's like it's the majority of the hustle down there.
So you say dog food is like how you get a bag of weed?
How you get a bag of weed, you get a bag of dope.
Like damn, like you know what I mean? I want to touch it, but I don't want to dwell on it. But it's like, you know, the kids. I want like how you say you got kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
not all the kids.
I just say all. We ain't saying all.
Shout out to my kids in the world.
I mean, we didn't say the
my son,
majority.
man, he just graduated, man.
Good. I mean, that's one of the good ones. But I mean, I know my man Dex because vouched for this also. When we was growing up, like, you know what I mean, we see somebody smoking crack, we're like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This nigga smoking crack.
Right.
Like, yo, he bogged out. Like, you know, how the fuck you can get on crack? Like, you know, you see what that did to the other person.
Right.
So why you want to jump on it? So now you talking about this dope now, and I'm like, if you see somebody nodding, somebody, they face almost hitting the ground, and they ain't touching the ground, why do you want to touch this? Why do you want to put this in your system and mess yourself up as a young man?
Right, that's a whole different ball game.
I mean, we got to touch on that. Okay, so how long you been doing music, man?
I've been doing music since I was a jit, man. Since I was small. But how, you know, just really taking this shit serious, man, it's probably been about the last 5 years.
Okay. So in the last 5 years, what kind of input and trials and tribulations that you went through before you got to this point right here?
Man, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. Really setting your mind and understanding and knowing that this shit ain't a game. You know, this shit ain't to be played with. You know, meeting the wrong people, having the wrong team around you that's holding you back, like having the wrong people with the bad energy and negative vibes and negative mindset, don't know what the fuck they doing. I had to deal with all that, man. I had to jump all them hurdles until I ran into a door that I was able to open and walk in comfortably. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, shout out Dex Diamond, Mel Skrilla, opening that door for me. Not only, you know, showing me the ropes through this shit, but also educate me, you know, as well as we going through this, man. And I can say, like, being around them, like my talent, my character as a musician, all that just straight elevated, man. I'm talking about straight took off.
So you saying since you say you went through these trials and tribulations, and now you went through a good door with Dex, and things have been looking better for you.
Right.
Things been looking better. So before you got with Dex and all of that, how many projects did you put out to get to this point? I
probably had about 3-4 projects I had put out, but I was putting them out wrong because I didn't have the knowledge on the proper way to put a mixtape out or put a single out and what needs to go here and how to market it here, how to put, like, I want them niggas just going to the studio, recording and putting the shit out and just letting it do what it do.
Oh, okay, I see. You just put it on YouTube.
I would just put it on YouTube, put it on United
Masters. Roll the dice and see if anybody gonna like it.
Look, I got a song, y'all go listen to it. That was all it was with me, man.
Okay, so since you said you've been linked up with Dex and them, and how long you been in New York City, man?
I started coming to New York like 2 years ago, but I came in May, stayed for like 5 months, had to go home, you know, to see my family, catch back up, left, came back out till I've been out till like 3 months now running, man. But it's been straight work, man, straight work.
So, I mean, in those months you've been running out here, what was one of the greatest accomplishments you felt good for yourself?
One of the greatest compliments, I think, let me see, because I had a lot. Hold up, I ain't trying to drag it out. I had a lot. One of my greatest accomplishments was getting a team that truly believed in me and trusted my vision, man, and heard that shit and wanted to see that shit work and wanted to win with that shit. My second one was being able to have Dex Diamond and Chris Gotti as mentors, man. Like that's like one of the biggest accomplishments to me too. The third one was being able to get a situation with Empire and VampLife Meeting Jim. The fourth one was what? I dropped my project on Adventures Music, which was Believe Me, I'm Good. Y'all can pull it up. And then the second one was I just dropped The Color Purple Friday under VampLife Empire. And probably the last biggest thing I can say, man, was meeting Jay, man. At the funeral, man. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti, man. I met Jay, bro.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you. You just broke down 3 or 4 things I'm gonna ask you about.
Right.
Well, the first one is you met Jay.
Right.
How it was when you met Jay at Irv Gotti funeral?
Man, I hate I had to meet him in that type of situation. Knowing he probably don't remember who the fuck I am, but that was a moment of clarity for me. You get what I'm saying? Just especially seeing him now show up for Irv like that, man. So that meant a lot to me. But you'll hear Jay talking on these platforms and shit and think, you know, maybe he just got that little, man, the man got a real humble verse, man, like a real humble personality and character, man. And just shaking his hand and, you know, hearing that, bro, that's like, it did something for me.
Okay. And like you said you was at Irv Gotti's funeral.
Yeah, it was beautiful, man. Beautiful service, man.
Rest in peace to Irv Gotti, man. He set a hell of a blueprint. He did remarkable stuff.
Right.
And with that being said, I know, like you said, you just linked up with Dex and you being around Chris. That was in the last couple of months.
Right.
So I know you heard about Irv Gotti when you was in the NO and all that. So how was it feeling that?
Man,
you was in a place like that.
I'm glad you asked me that question though too, because it's like before I met Dex and got around Chris, no man, it's like used to hear a lot, man, that nigga Irv an asshole, that nigga did. But as I done been around, like I done been in his house, I done been around his family, I done hugged his mom, I done held his Grammys. You get what I'm saying? I can call his brother, man. Like I'm with Dex every day. They're like these people that actually was working with this, you know, side by side with this man and know Irv. And the more I got to be around Irv, I understand, man, that passion and that drive he had was the call. He had to be that way. Because if not, he wouldn't have got that level of success that he got, man. I just don't see it happen without Irv being Irv.
So basically you salute Irv.
I salute Irv, man. Rest in peace to OG, man.
Okay, man. So you say you've been around Chris also.
Yeah, Chris G, man.
So tell me something about Chris Gotti, man. Shout out to Chris Gotti, man. A friend of the show, definitely. Man, Chris OG, man, he one of the ones, bro, you gotta be around Chris to know Chris a real good dude, man. He a real good dude, man. Okay. He like the crack jokes, like Chris, but he bought his business. He bought his business, man. Okay. You also mentioned VampLife, Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, now how it is that y'all got how it is you got the chance to work with Jim Jones or the VampLife brand, and how you got to intertwine with all of that? Is it because of the grind that you was out here for the past couple of months? No,
it's not because of that. Not correct. No, I gotta keep it all the way real with you, man. First off, shout out the whole VampLife Empire family, man. February 28th, man, you know, Jim dropping From the Church Step 2 was gonna be a big project. But how I got to meet Jim was at the time I was, you know, dealing with Dex. Dex and Chris was trying to form the CPL basketball pro league that they got. So shout out to the whole Clash family over there with that. And while Dex had to break away to do that, his partner, who is my other manager, was Mel Skrilla. You know, he kept me in the grind with the streets. He's like, man, you know, Dex doing that. Let me call my people. So he sent the music to, I think, Pone, who was like one of the, in the front office with Jim. And Pone was the one that got the music to Jim. And Jim was like, man, that shit hard, man. Like, all right, get him up here. Let me get in the studio with him and see what he do. Right. I got up here, got in the studio, man. Jim heard the records. He was like, look, man, let's do it. Like, you know, however you got to use me and use the step, man, let's just make this shit happen.
So you say Jim was open arms when he met you.
Right. Straight
green light.
Straight love, man. Straight love.
Okay, so what was the name of the record that y'all did?
The record that we did just releases on a mixtape of Color Purpose called Scream. Yeah, but he heard a bunch of songs, man, and I guess was him seeing how fast I work and at my level and pace of talent was really caught his eye, man.
Okay, that's what's up, man. You got to respect that, VampLife.
Right.
Got to respect that he gave you a shine without no doubt. You know what I mean?
Right. And not only that, he was. I guess he understood the vision that Mel and Dex had for him, and also gave me the opportunity to be able to keep my independency. You know, with what it's called, gave me opportunity to man, I could sit at this table and eat. Well, you know, anytime I feel like I'm ready to go off and do my own thing, They made that happen to her.
So basically saying he wasn't gatekeeping.
He ain't trying to lock me in a
He ain't
gatekeep.
trying to lock you in.
We non-exclusive, right, right.
So you say Jim's a fair guy.
Right.
Okay, that's what's up. So you, huh? Yeah. He's our deal. Also now, you say you was in New York and you did a thing. Did you do any? Let me rephrase that better. Do you freestyle? Do they freestyle in NO? In New Orleans? Do y'all freestyle? Do y'all go off the head?
Man, not like New York do, man. Now they freestyle a lot in Houston, though. Shout out the whole H-Town, man. That's my second home. That's where I live at now.
Oh, so you live in Houston also?
Yeah, I live in Houston, man.
Okay, so tell us something about Houston, man.
Man, I love Houston, man. That's my second home, man. I love Houston, bro. It's like, especially, they integrated a lot of our culture from New Orleans inside of their culture, man. So
okay.
That's big, man. That's big to me, man.
That's what's up. I didn't know you was in Houston too.
Yeah.
So you ever worked with any artists out there, or you ever tapped in with your music out there?
Oh yeah, man. They show man love. They support me in Houston, man. Like that's like my family, my second home.
Okay, so
I've been there a few years.
So have you ever went back home to perform your music?
Yeah, I did a bunch of shows and shit in Houston. I did shows in New Orleans, but it just I've been up here just for the past, 10 months in and out, running up and down. But I live in Houston.
So I'm gonna ask you something about New Orleans. So I just seen the Cash Money Hot Boys had a reunion.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? How they all got back together for the city?
Man, that was a big win for New Orleans, man. That was a big, and I hate that I missed it because I was up here running around, and I get a chance to go with it. Like that was one for the books, man. Like I definitely, matter of fact, I couldn't be there, but I watched the whole thing stream on live, man. And me just watching it felt like I was there.
You felt like you was back at home.
I felt like I was back at home, man.
Damn, shit. So how you felt about Lil Wayne not performing at the Super Bowl?
That hurt, man. That hurt. Like I don't give a fuck what nobody else say, man. The disrespect Weezy like that, man, that hurt it, bro. That's fucked up, man. Like, get it, man. It's flowers, man. Wayne deserved that. If nobody else from New Orleans and Louisiana deserved that, Wayne deserved that one, man.
I like that one. I like that. So what do you think about Master P? I think he has something called the Louisiana Hall of Fame or something like that.
Right. People been doing big things in Louisiana, man. I've been respecting how he went back. They about to start the Star Walk of Fame. He getting that lined up to where the stars.
That's what it was.
He making sure a lot of people get their proper dues and getting keys to the city, man. That's been putting in work. So shout out to Pete, man. Pete been doing some real shit, man.
That's what's up.
He been real active in the community and shit down there.
I want to ask you something. A little trivia. Not even a question. A little trivia.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to work with one of these people, you only could pick one.
Yeah.
Who will you work with, Master P or Baby?
I gotta go with Baby, man. I gotta go with Stunner. Man.
And why? And why you say that?
I mean, it just business mind wise, and I don't feel like not just because of the business, but the vision, the creativity, and the recognition that Baby had for music. Not taking that from Pete, you know what I'm saying? But Baby, man, he got 3-4 the biggest artists, especially Drake, Wayne, and Nicki. Man, that's whew. That nigga Baby did his thing with that, man.
Yeah, he did his thing definitely with that. What you got going on now? You say you got your album dropping, but your album dropped.
Y'all will drop Friday.
What's the name of the album?
The Color Purple on all streaming platforms, man. Y'all tap into that.
How many songs on the album?
9 songs on that joint. 9 bangers on there too.
You got any features on the album?
I got 2 features. I got the one called Scream with me and Jim Jones, man. Shout out Jimmo. And then I got one called Spill with me and a little rapper from Brooklyn named Wavy, man.
Okay, damn. You got Brooklyn rap on your shit too?
Yeah, Wavy, not Wavee. That's his name. That's how you spell his name. Because I tell people Wavy, and they'll hear it and go look up Wavy, and it's not his name. His name's spelled Wavee. Hot little rapper, man.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
They got to know how to spell right. You know what I mean? So, is there anything that you want to tell people more about? I mean, the way they don't know about? Don't forget, What people really don't know about you? What they really don't know about you?
I ain't nothing special, man. I'm a regular nigga, man, with a God-given, with a God-given talent, a God-given gift. Nigga that just won't, like, I'm trying to get it, man. I'm trying to get it. Make sure that I can bring this shit back home.
All right, I'm about to get a little touchy with you right now.
Yeah.
I think I think I was being light. Hold on. So you grew up downtown in Louisiana. And what kind of kid you was when you was growing up in Louisiana? Were you a street kid, a book kid, sports kid?
I was raised I was raised with two parents. One, my mama, then my stepfather who came in and accepted the role as being my daddy with me. I'm one of them kids, man, that had to watch their mama, struggle, work, bust her ass to do what she needed to do, and one that couldn't take saying that shit and chose other routes of the streets to try to make ends meet and do shit like that, man. So I was always one of the ones that just wanted it, man. Like I just wanted it, and that thrive and that strive came from watching my mama struggle. Nobody around me was ever rich. Like I never knew nobody that was rich. So I'm like I want to switch some shit up. That led to me being in the streets, hustling and in and out of jail and shit like that, catching cases. And
how old you was, like when you was in the street, when you stepped off the porch, how old you was?
When I first started, first time my mama found a bunch of weed and shit, my route there, I was like 13, man, 13. So I think I started hustling, selling weed when I was like 13. And I think I really jumped off the porch when I was like, maybe 14 and a half or some shit like that. I really just started just wilding, man, running all the way wild in the streets.
So when you jumped off the porch, like I said, now we are Flatbush, man.
Right.
And for what I know about the NO in New Orleans, Louisiana, uptown, Chopper City.
Right.
You know what I mean? They shooting up the place like crazy. So how y'all was downtown?
Downtown, same way. It ain't no different. Same way, man. It ain't no different.
You know what I mean? So when you stepped off the porch, what was the first set of drugs you was hustling? Or what, you know what I mean?
When I first started hustling was weed, man. Like, shout out my homie Kim, man. That's a funny story, bro. I really can't tell it. I won't tell a story, but I can't, man. But shout out my homie Kim, man. If you tag him in this post, he'll let you know how we got on with our first hit, man, with some weed, man. But
I mean, why you can't tell us, man? The person's still alive?
it's not that he alive, because I really truly don't give a fuck, but I feel like that's his story to tell, man. I'll tag him under this post, though. I'll tag him. Remember that name? His name Kim, man. Well, his Instagram is 9on I'm gonna tag him under the post.
I definitely. You want to hear the story, homie?
Right. You probably can call in and tell it. But he was the one, man, that ran across the stash and brought it back to the table and turned shit up, man.
So how much is in the stash?
Man, at least about a pound, man. And we 13 years old at the time. Like, so this at least about a pound, man. And from there, we took off, man. We took off.
Yeah, so that was your first introduction?
That was our first introduction, and we felt like, other niggas around us was getting a little bit too much money. We knew that we wasn't getting, so it shifted to, selling the coke and then selling the hard and then selling the dog food and shit like that, man.
Right,
Stealing cars.
So you elevated.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in the streets now, you know how they say it's either death, jail.
Right.
You here today.
Right.
You here today, so do you touch the jail system?
Man, I paid my dues with that, man. I've been in jail for guns, robbery. I'd have been shot. I'd have been stabbed. I guess, one of my hardest and one of my most lessons learned, man, was I caught a capital murder charge.
Whoa, stop.
Capital murder, man.
Stop. This is We Are Flatbush.
Right.
And when you talk to us, we like to understand what you're saying.
Right.
And you just said you caught a capital murder charge.
Right.
And you here in front of me today.
Right.
Explain that to me, my man.
It's like, I caught one charge first.
And what was that charge?
It was like a regular murder, but in Houston they call it
Hold up, my man. Hold up. I know people gonna be like, why you put them off?
Right.
But you just said that's a regular murder. do they have bad murders? Do they have upset murders?
What I'm saying, maybe I worded it wrong. What I'm saying is, first, you got You got murder, you got first degree. It's different levels of it.
Okay, I just want you to be
I
clear.
had a regular murder on top of a capital murder. So that was two bodies I was fighting together. So man, sitting down in the, fight, going through that shit. I sat down with maybe 5.5 years. I went to trial for the shit. Got found not guilty. Thanks to my lawyers, man. But just during that time, man, it was like one of the most life learned lessons, man, I ever had to endure with, man. Like trusting niggas, man. Like learn to go do shit by yourself. Like niggas talking about they real and they gangster and they this, they that, man. Listen, yo, man, look, it's cold and scary in them courtrooms, man. Especially when you got, especially when everything around you attached to you ain't solid.
So wait a minute. So when you got caught up in your case, you had co-defendants?
I had 3 co-defendants, man.
And they flipped on you?
Not all of them. Only one, man. Shout out my dog Corey, man. Free Corey, man. That's like my right hand man.
All right. So you say one out of the 3 flip.
2 out of the 3 flip. But at the end of the day, one of them was a female who shouldn't have had knew what she know, but a nigga running his mouth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man.
So I'm just asking the question. But if the guy that ratted on you,
Right.
he's still in the neighborhood?
No, he had all kind of other shit, like, man, some fucked up shit that I really don't want to speak on camera. He a fucked up nigga, man. He got a lot of demons he fighting and he battling with right now. So it's like, we probably could go into more depth of that off camera, me and you.
No doubt,
You know
no
what I'm
doubt,
saying?
no doubt. All right. So when you was fighting these cases, the capital murder and the regular murder, murder, when you was behind the walls, what you was thinking about, man? Like, what was going through your mind as you sitting behind the wall? You got a capital murder in your face and a regular murder in your face.
I mean, first, like, I ain't gonna lie to anybody else, like, that when you first get in that situation, man, the shit seems surreal. Like, damn, I feel like all my karma and shit done caught up with me. But then at the end of the day, and I'm not saying that God got his favor, but God chose different type of battle for people. So I feel like I was running so wild and so loose in them streets to where I couldn't sit down and come to my senses on my own. So God set me down and brought my senses to me. You know what I'm saying? So just being in that cell, man, like losing friends and losing loved ones, your girl leaving on you, like ain't nobody writing you, ain't nobody, sending you no money. Then you got niggas who you would have out there risking your life for doing this and doing that. Ain't nobody fucking with you, man. Like that shit changed, that shit fucked you up, man. But instead of fucking me up for the bad, it fucked me up the right way. You know what I'm saying? So now, because that was the only time I was able to really hear myself think and really gather my thoughts together, man. And it's like, I used to always pray and ask God, like, out of all the money and shit, out of all the opportunity, like how you let me get put in a situation, like he it's like he's to always talk to me.
Wake up call.
Right. And from that situation, that's how I was always Muslim, but I wasn't taking it serious. If being in that situation, man, I was able to dive all the way into the religion and the deen of Islam, man. Like I probably read, man, like just no cap, man. Like I got a list. I could take a picture to you when I get back home. I probably read over 3,500 books. Like I was ordering all kind of like studying the language and studying the cultures of Arabic and going back to, the roots of, before slavery. It was a lot of shit that I was starting to wrap my mind in. I'm like, once I get out this situation, I'm like, the God, man, like I need something better. And the whole time he kept telling me, nigga, I gave you a gift. I gave you talent. You know what I'm saying? And from there, it's like I was able to start, like my mind was clear. Like it wasn't nothing but just thoughts and music going on in my head, man. I was able to write that shit down and put that shit together. And I just told myself, man, once this shit over, I beat this shit, I'm hitting the ground running, man. And just so happened, I got found not guilty on the murder charges, but they came back and found me guilty on retaliation with a deadly weapon, saying that they can't prove I did the murder, but if
they can't prove you did the murder, how the fuck they gonna prove you did something crazy?
And I'm gonna let y'all know, man, the case public information, man. So y'all can go do your own homework and shit. But yeah, I got found guilty of retaliation with a deadly weapon and got sentenced to 8 years. So once I did that, came home, man, it was up from there, man.
So when you was behind the wall, were you rapping behind the wall or you started rapping?
No, I had to start rapping behind the wall because I had to get myself ready and prepared and make sure that this really what I wanted to do. Like at the end of the day, this is a new kitchen for me to cook and to feed my fam.
Ooh, I like
you know what I'm saying? So I really had to take that shit all the way serious. Like it was either you're gonna do this or you're gonna do that. Like And that's one thing I always remember. That's one thing that always stood out about me about Dex. When I first met Dex, man, Dex told me, listen, I got money. I eat good. I live good. I do what the fuck I want to do. So you here offer me money, it's not gonna be the reason I'm gonna tell you yes. You're gonna respect my time. You're gonna respect your talent, and we're gonna do this shit the right way. And from there, man, it's always been, it's been what he told me, man.
Nah, Dex is definitely a solid nigga. Yeah. I heard you touch on Muslim. Was you say you was a Muslim before you would?
I turned Muslim when I was 17.
And
on my first bed.
Okay. Oh, so it's safe to say, 'cause I'm just about to ask, like, I don't see any New Orleans or New Orleans people practicing Muslim. You know what I mean?
Islam.
Islam.
Right,
Let me say it correct. Practicing Islam. So now I'm hearing you talking about it.
Right.
So I'm like, damn, I've never heard nobody out there say that. But then you see he's behind the wall. So usually it's safe to say most people study Islam when they behind the wall.
Right. Now I feel like that's like the only time God can really just get to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was a Christian, you know. I grew up in a Christian house. I grew up in a Christian home, and it's like a lot of shit leading up to me being Muslim, I feel like was already thrown on me as a kid, man. Because like I told you, like my mama struggled, and I had a strict ass stepdaddy, so anything I did, I was always punished. So I probably could tell you, like I never had a video game. I never had it. So to this day, right now, I don't play video games. I never had one. It's like I barely ever had a Christmas, barely ever had a birthday. In Islam, we don't celebrate none of that. So I feel like God was already grooming me.
Yeah,
you know,
the
was coming in my.
They don't celebrate
right,
Christmas.
right. We don't celebrate none of that shit, man.
Oh, so you basically saying, like, you know, you wasn't too far from being a Muslim because the Christian not too far from that either.
No. What I'm saying is I was a Christian, but I'm saying me not knowing, you know, me getting punished and not being to celebrate birthday, you ain't getting nothing for Christmas. You ain't getting this. I feel like God was already grooming me to become Muslim for my Islamic path. And don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna say I'm a perfect Muslim because I am a practicing Muslim, man. I still go to clubs. I still drink. My man can tell you, man, when I got my downtime, I don't miss a prayer. I read my Quran. I study. If I ain't doing that, I'm in that palm right.
I seen a lot of. I mean, hey, man, you see a lot of Pakistans and Muslim people.
Right.
They pray Allah, but to be real, I see them do a lot of killing and murdering stuff too.
Right.
So that kind of like, you know, like, I thought you was praising God over here.
Right.
So how you over here ready to kill a person? Like,
right.
I'm like, you're confusing me. You're confusing me. You know what I mean? And that's the most scariest person in the world.
Right.
To me, you know what I mean? The person that can sit there and be like, Allah, 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 then turn around and say, click, I'm gonna boom you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it makes you go, whoop, make you see. All right, man, I'm WHOP, man. I had a great time talking to you. I mean, I feel like, you know, you got more to say, but you're going to say it once this music start hitting the world.
Right.
And then you have more. But I think you gave us what the people need to know to get a taste of you. And you said something just now, I like that line. You know what I mean? When you said the kitchen, you said something about the kitchen.
Right.
You got a new kitchen.
Right.
So you got to cook something up. I'm going to find it in this interview. I like that little clip.
Right.
But I like the way you cook up your thing. I like the way you speak. You out here grinding. Me and Dex is good friends. So I know you with a good brother right now.
Right.
And I know you connecting dots like tic-tac-toe. You know what I mean? So I wish you the best. And I feel you're going to make it. You know what I mean?
Man,
Just keep on doing your thing.
Man, I got Dex to deal with. Ain't no loser with this shit, man. But to the viewers, man, anything y'all didn't hear from me or didn't get from me, man, I'm pretty sure if y'all tap into my music, man, y'all find out a whole lot more about me. Follow me on all social media platforms, man. Don't forget, man. Believe me, I'm good. There's an EP I dropped on Adventures Music, The Color Purple on the VampLife Empire. Just dropped this Friday. Y'all tap in and fuck with me, man.
No doubt, man. Salute. We all Flatbush.
We all Flatbush.
Bye.
Westbury to Lincoln, Clarkson Ave to Lennox, 21st to Church, Notion Ave to Riddock, Newkirk to 2/3, the junction where the 2 stop, Beerside the 90s, Flatbush Ave and Red Hot, 40s, 50s, Clarendon down in back blocks, Region, Tennis Court 18th, they really torch, Woodruff, Parade Ground, 92 the Playground, back across Ocean, the Embassy got a major sound, bring the ARC back, return always niggas in the Biltmore. Rinsin, shot in Ed.
Gangsters no see.
Yo, these niggas think they play, man. It's your boy All Black. Let's turn this shit up. Yo, we are Flatbush.